Good evening. It is time for today's Tax Talk. I'm your host. I'm attorney Stephen Leahy. It is Wednesday, December 14th, the year of our Lord 2022. Almost coming to the end of that year, huh? And we are going to talk about the IRS and giving up all that confidential information, and the billionaire Ken Griffin, who's suing him about it. That's what we're going to talk about today, and I hope you can join us. Won't you join us? Well, being here from Chicago, Ken Griffin has been a mainstay here until very recently when he moved to Florida. And so we have a billionaire who made $17 billion last year. And our governor here was happy to see him go. I don't know why that would be. Just his taxes alone are worth him staying, whether you like them or not. But not our guys. They don't care. Remember, they did that in New York too. They're throwing everybody out. Get out. We don't want you here. Doesn't make any sense, does it? They pay taxes, but they got the rest of us all trapped. This is my home and this is where I live. But sometimes you have to think about it. But anyway, that's what we're going to talk about this day. I think it's about time somebody did something, right? Remember last year, Pro Publica. These are all in the story. So let's turn to the story, and then we can discuss as the story goes by. So here, let's go to the story. I'm going to go to the story, and we're going to talk about the trip, because that's a local story. He was a local guy until very recently. So let's go to what happened there. I don't know what happened there. There we go. Okay, billionaire Ken Griffin sues the IRS over leaked tax records. And again, I wonder why that is, that he's the only one. Is it because everybody else doesn't want to bring attention to it? I don't know why other people who were involved in this did not come after the IRS for the same, I think, egregious activity. They promised that they were going to take action and find out who did this. We've never heard anything about it. We're going to get to the bottom of it. We're not going to rest. Well, they've been resting, and they've never gotten to the bottom of it. And I don't believe they ever will get to the bottom of it. It's the same thing with the Supreme Court, right? That they're going to get to the bottom of who leaked that Supreme Court decision. There's not that many people there. You'd think you can figure that out fairly quickly. But no, we still don't know. We don't know where they are, and they won't tell us. And where we can't discuss an ongoing investigation. So we just keep the investigation going forever, and we can never have to talk about it. Isn't that convenient? So here's the story. Multi-billionaire Ken Griffin filed a lawsuit against the IRS Tuesday, alleging the agency violated his right to privacy after investigative journalism outlet Pro Publica reported in April on the tax records of a Republican megadonor and former Chicagoan. He just moved out recently. Griffin's income and taxes were reported by Pro Publica, alongside similar information from hundreds of America's wealthiest people. Where do you think they got those tax records? Where else would they be in one place? Let's think about that. I don't think they all use the same accountant. So I wonder where they could come up with all of those at the same time. The outlet has said it does not know who shared the tax information with them and did not solicit the documents it received. I find that hard to believe that they don't know who it is. Griffin, who founded the hedge fund Citadel, demanded a jury trial in his lawsuit. He claimed the tax agency is responsible for the unlawful disclosure of his tax records because of its willful and intentional failure to set up safeguards to its record systems. Court records filed Tuesday in the United States District Court for the Southern District of Florida show. Well, that's a good place to bring it to, right? You bring it in D.C., probably not going to go very far. Bring it here in Illinois, maybe not go very far. But Florida, I think that's the right venue. as we say. The IRS is and has for some time been well aware of these issues, Griffin's court filing said. Despite these warnings, however, the IRS continues to willfully and intentionally fail to establish adequate safeguards to protect Mr. Griffin and other taxpayers' confidential tax information. Griffin called the IRS to pay for his legal fees, $1,000 for each unauthorized disclosure, as according to law, and an unspecified amount of damages. He filed the lawsuit with law firm Quinn Emanuel, Urquhart, and Sullivan, and the case was assigned to Judge Robert Scola, Jr. Griffin spent $54 million fighting a proposed graduated state income tax plan that Illinois voters rejected in 2020. The amendment would have altered the state income tax to substantially hike fees on Illinois' wealthiest taxpayers. Pro Publica reported in July that Griffin saved $51 million per year based on his past income because the amendment did not pass. Well, now how much has he saved? Because he moved to Florida. Much more than the $51 million. So does it make sense to try to collect more $51 million from him and then he flees? Because I'm sure that's just a portion. That's probably not even half of what he paid. The outlet also reported it can't be more than half because we're only going up 1%. So that's 1%. 1%. So he paid. Let's think about this. If that was going up to 6% and that's 1%, then 5% would have been 5 times that, $250 million in taxes. And we as Illinoisans, if it is a word, but it always seems odd. The Illini, my kids went to University of Illinois, so we're all Illini. But we shouldn't be chasing this guy out. We need that money. The outlet also reported in an April article sharing the information of hundreds of wealthy Americans that Griffin paid 29.2% average effective federal income tax rate on his $1.68 billion he made annually between 2013 and 2018. $1.68 billion. And he paid almost 30% in taxes. The fourth highest average annual income in the country during the period. Griffin paid the second largest amount of federal income tax of all taxpayers, the reporting showed. See, and Pro Publica thinks that's not enough? Unbelievable. Pro Publica on its website touts a massive trove of tax records it obtained, covering thousands of America's wealthiest individuals. It has used the documents to report on ultra-wealthy household names like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, and written that the articles reveal how the wealthiest avoid income tax. I don't think that article did that at all. Pro Publica noted in a statement to the Tribune that it published a story Tuesday about the lawsuit. The outlet has previously explained its decision to publish the private data. We are doing so quite selectively and carefully because we believe it serves the public interest in fundamental ways, allowing readers to see patterns that were until now hidden. By law, they were hidden. Pro Publica editor-in-chief Stephen Engelberg and former President Richard Toffel wrote as the outlet first published articles featuring the information. The outlet declined to elaborate on how it obtained the tax information or to comment on any investigation of the leak. The IRS did not immediately respond to a request sent Tuesday for comment on the lawsuit. In his court filing, Griffin alleged that IRS leaders have failed to provide more information about purported investigations into the tax document leak. Griffin issued a statement through a spokesman Wednesday. IRS employees deliberately stole the confidential tax returns of several hundred successful American business leaders, Griffin said. It is unacceptable that government officials have failed to thoroughly investigate this unlawful theft of confidential and personal information. Americans expect our government to uphold the laws of our nation when it comes to our private and personal information, whether it be tax returns or health care records. I think both are at risk, to be quite honest with you. Some congressional Republicans have also criticized the IRS for the leak and its failure to explain how the tax records were made accessible. Griffin is a top Republican donor, having spent $50 million on candidates in Illinois' Republican primary this year. he moved his hedge fund from Chicago to Florida days before the primary election, in which he has chosen candidates were badly beaten. Oh, thank you, Tribune, for putting that in, that little editorial there at the end about how, because his candidates were badly beaten, maybe he deserves to have his tax records exposed to the public in violation of the law. What do you think? I don't think that's right. Now, I kind of got off habit here, or it's not really habit because I only done it once, but I wanted to talk about liking and sharing and subscribing at the beginning of the video. I'll get used to it. So, but we do need you to like and subscribe. We need to get this information out. Remember, tax news is the heart of all news, except for the violent stuff. But tax news is really at the heart of all news, because it's where that's the news of how they gather the money from you, and how do they spend it for themselves, kind of. So that's what I need your help to do that. And remember, if you're fighting the IRS, if you don't know what to do, if you owe the IRS money, or you have unfiled tax returns and you seem paralyzed because you don't know what to do, first thing you should do, get a copy of my book, Deal with Your IRS Problem Today. Go to freeirsbook.com. That's freeirsbook.com. Get your free copy of Deal with Your IRS Problem Today. I'll pay for the printing. I'm going to ask you to pay for the shipping and handling. But I'm also going to throw in a bunch of bonus offers, and you'll see those on the website, freeirsbook.com. So thanks so much for joining us here today. Appreciate you taking the time. We'll be back here tomorrow, and I hope you're going to be back here to join us. God bless you. See you tomorrow. Out.